Catus Maximus here. I'm doing the reviews that nobody cares to do. This is an all-steel key reel. Wanted to always do a little review on these just because there's almost no videos. There's a couple of repair videos. These use a simple clock spring and spool. So if these ever fail on you, they're pretty easy to repair. They used to be American made. Now they're, of course, made in China, but they're still pretty nice. And so a lot of people work at places where you have security badges or maintenance, etc., where you need to keep track of keys. And so these are always the nice ones. There's so many of those little cheesy plastic reels, and these are the ones with the real stiff, real heavy-duty belt clips, and of course a steel link chain, 24 inches, and a pretty stout spring. I'd say it'd hold a key ring of at least 15 or so keys. I've also seen these in certain situations where people tie cords onto these and then they kind of use them as suspension for hoses or that type of stuff to keep them from chafing. It was a kind of an odd YouTube video, but I thought that was a genius use of one of these things. They last a really long time because they are all steel. They actually have a nice crinkle cut. The company is Heiko. They've been around for quite a long time, almost 70 years. And so those are the company that I remember. So I just wanted to do a quick video, and since there's hardly any videos about these on YouTube, period, they're not a particularly interesting item, I just wanted to just do a quick review of one. You can get models that have 36-inch or 3-foot chains, although the 2-foot's pretty much the standard. Instead of having them wear out, there's some fancy Kevlar ones, but it's always kind of nice just to have the traditional 100% all-metal version. I guess the real Achilles heel to these is they don't work super great if you have a real steep angle, and they can be wound left or clockwise or counterclockwise depending on it. So like on this, if you were to have it, say, on your right-hand side hip, this is wound more in this direction where it pulls out easy, but you can actually reverse that, or maybe if you put this on the inside of your belt, then it would work just fine. And reversing them is pretty easy. The real trick to these, since they are spring-loaded, is you actually have to pull and put a little bit of tension on the chain when you take it apart so that the chain doesn't want to snap back in there and to have it all kind of fly apart. It's pretty simple, just a little basic screw, a clip. You do periodically want to oil these. And then the case halves are actually pretty tight on this one. Now we pull this apart. It's actually pretty well made. These Heikos are still pretty good quality control. And then there's our clock spring. And what can happen is it can fatigue, but you can see the spring just goes through a little slot. So if it ever fatigues and breaks, you can just wind it up, or you can just take the remaining end and just put it right back to the slot and easily repair it. This one's different. An older model, see what they've done is the spring actually attaches to a little hole there for the other end. They used to put that hole on both sides, so you could just take the spring and flip it over. So you have to drill a little hole to kind of capture the end of the spring. They used to make it easier to reverse these, and you can see the chain is just wrapped around the spool. And it is pretty nice design because there's actually this inner cup and then the front plate that goes on it. They use a brass spindle just because brass is self-lubricating to a degree, and it's corrosion resistant. So it truly is all metals. It isn't 100% steel because, of course, the brass center post, but still pretty nice. So anyway, a quick review and a look inside one of these all-metal premium. These might be considered a janitor's key reel or retractable lanyard, and they still are really the standard. These all-metal ones will can last for years, literally thousands and thousands of cycles. And really what ends up failing is either spring fatigues or this one loop right here. As it keeps on snapping back, it will fatigue this loop, and then that's also pretty easy to fix. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.